Good day, folks. Everything new under the sun. It is June 6th, 2024. Is this the Cuban Missile Crisis moment for North America, for United States? This is Zero Hedge. Russia warships steam for Caribbean as Ukraine tensions go global. In a show of force, perhaps prompted by Biden's authorization of Ukrainian strikes inside Russia using U.S. weapons, a group of Russian warships is en route to the Caribbean. This is about Russia showing how they are still capable of some level of naval power projection. So literally, this is the Cuban Missile Crisis all over again. And there's a map of the Caribbean, and Russia's going to have aircraft carriers in that location, probably with nuclear warheads on board. So that is a huge escalation. You know what? When it comes to the shores of the United States proper, that's when people start saying, oops, maybe we better stop playing this game. As long as the war is kept over there, nobody cares. American leaders at least, don't care because it's someone else's problem. It's Ukraine's men that are being tossed into the meat grinder. But when it comes to the shores of the United States, well, then the people wake up and say, whoa, we can't have this. We're fine with the war overseas, but not on our doorstep, in our backyard. And that's what's happening now. Russia knows it. It's a strategic movement by them, again, to wake up the public. I don't think the public is asleep. Mainstream media is not covering it. Russia knows it. The Russians are very intelligent. They have strategists that know that public opinion on this is not going to be good, and that's going to exert a lot of pressure on the American government if they start making people aware of what's happening. Well, meanwhile, this is your hedge. NATO kicks off massive Baltic drills as Biden affirms U.S. weapons now being used inside Russia. Now, this definitely, now that the U.S. government has admitted this makes the NATO, United States specifically, a direct target and a valid target for Russia, as Russia is trying to hit any supply lines, any incoming weapon deliveries or ammunition deliveries to the Ukraine war. From their point of view, if anybody is helping Ukraine and they know it, then those partners are fair game in terms of the supply chain of the war. In the shadow of Russia-Ukraine war and right next door, NATO's kicked off massive annual military exercise in the Baltic Operations 24. It says it involves over 9,000 personnel, 50 ships, 85 aircraft, comprising 20 countries. Crucially, NATO's newest admittee, Sweden, is part of the drills as a full member state. Let's take a look at this. So this is a War News 247 article. Emergency. Putin has made a decision. He is going to hit American bases and NATO targets around the world. Russia's passive attitude is over. 900 U.S. bases targeted. Medvedev, we will hit our common enemies. Now, an interesting thing is that they have declared that they're going to start arming all the enemies of the United States. And it says, for 3.5 hours, the president of Russia, Putin, informed international media correspondents, again, trying to get the mainstream media involved in this and wake people up because they know the governments aren't telling their people what is actually happening. He has informed them about Moscow's change of attitude towards the USA and NATO. Russia will now arm all U.S. NATO enemies to strike the U.S. military bases and targets around the world in an application of the enemy of my enemy is my friend doctrine. The enemy of my enemy is my friend doctrine. Every nation that is interested in siding with Russia and is not like the United States or NATO is now going to get any and all weapons that Russia has to provide as countries line up for the good versus bad, one side versus the other. The whole world is lining up for World War III, folks. It's incredible to watch this, to be honest. Russia's patience is clearly, certainly long, but it is not unlimited. Russia will give long-range weapons to various regions of the world from where they will be sensitive attacks against countries that supply weapons to Ukraine. Is that the reason why Russian warships are on their way to the Caribbean? Is there a delivery of maybe some nations that are not all for the United States when it comes to World War III, and that are on Russia's side? Interesting, right? It's incredible to see, and they're getting ready to strike American bases all around the world. So this gives you an idea of their priority. American bases, probably nuclear power plants, and when it goes hot, all the communications will go down. They will take out all our communications towers, cell phone towers, satellites, etc. All these will be taken out when this goes hot. It says practically. Can you see that? Practically, this means that the world is on the threshold of a third world war. Why do we have no right to supply with weapons of equal power those areas of the planet where the sensitive infrastructure of those countries that do this to Russia will be targeted, were Putin's exact words when asked about the strikes inside Russian territory, i.e., they are legally, if you think there's rules of war, then one rule would be, well, if someone's helping the person who is against me, I'm going to go after them. And anybody who is against the country I'm against, we're going to team up and pair up and go against the nation that we're battling against. So we are on the threshold of the Third World War. And folks, I don't know if the West is going to win the Third World War. An interesting commentary on the political situation, but not only that, but the world situation, is in these last days, as we get closer to the return of the Lord, when all truth and justice will come out. The truth is coming out in more and more, because God's not going to leave anybody with an excuse. He will reveal the truth to them about everything, about Trump's affairs, about the Democrats' corruption. He will reveal it all, and about, of course, him being the creator of the world and salvation through Jesus Christ. He's going to reveal it all. All the truth is coming out. And when truth comes out, folks, a lot of people don't like that. What if all the truth came out about your life? And that's what's happening to Trump in the juries, in the cases, and that's what's also going to happen equally and likewise to the Democrats, the left, and all the corruption in both parties and across the world, all the governments of the world. All the truth will come out. The truth is coming out about the pandemic, isn't it? Remember, all the truth is being revealed, whether for good or for bad, in your opinion, on whatever side you are. The truth is being revealed. We're living in an incredible time, but what that truth will do is it will set people in their ways, in their thoughts. They will choose one side. And ultimately, that's what the build-up to the return of the Lord is, the force of the apocalypse. It's to get people off the fence to say, I am with Christ or I am against Christ. I am for Christ, I am for the devil. That's what the mark of the beast is. It's one more way to get people off the fence, so that when they stand in front of God, and when they are asked, what do they do with their life? What decision do they make? They will have no excuse to say, well, I didn't hear your truth. I didn't read the Bible. Nobody told me about this. They will have no excuse in the last days. So it's incredible that all the truth is coming out. It's very vindicating, but it means it's going to be very polarizing as well for the whole population of the world. And that's why we line up on sides for World War III, effectively. The truth is coming out. It's an exciting time, but again, it's a very polarizing and violent time when truth comes out, because the love of many, because of that truth coming out, is going to grow cold. If you can't forgive someone through this, and if that truth comes out about the affair, about whatever it may be, then that love is going to grow cold, and you need to forgive others. But most of the world, of course, aren't Christians, so they're not going to be forgiving anybody. So I will leave there, guys. Again, another emergency update. This thing could go hot anytime, and we are so close to this moment. I think mainstream media is, I know mainstream media is underselling this and not telling the whole truth and not telling the severity of the situation, how far Russia is willing to go, and what they're saying. They're openly suggesting the use of nuclear weapons, and the mainstream media is not discussing this. It's incredible, folks, but the truth is out there if you are willing to look for it. I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.